you will need to normalize in your mind walking alone. You gotta get up on your own. You gotta be able to make big decisions on your own. You gotta lose weight on your own. There are a myriad of targets you have to hit by yourself. Oftentimes, it's the people that go away into a very healthy isolation to equip themselves, to condition themselves, to educate themselves, to come out empowered. And so you gotta get into this workspace where you can do it by yourself. It doesn't matter if it's the office, it doesn't matter if it's the gym, it doesn't matter if it's the court, it doesn't matter if it's the field, it doesn't matter what arena you are stepping into. You gotta get to that place where you don't need attention, you don't need recognition, you don't need the accolades. You just wanna put in the work, and the next time you surface, the next time you show up, it's game over.
If you throw me to the wolves, I'll return, leading the pack. You see, a wolf is willing to leave its pack behind and to find a new one. The time is now when we must adopt the wolf mentality. Be relentless, resilient, never quit, and never look back.
I know what it feels like to be fractured and falling into pieces. But you gotta silence the voices in your head that are telling you you need a shortcut, you need a cheat code. Eliminate the negative, self-sabotaging voices. Find a mirror and tell yourself, I got this today. I got this today. I'm gonna make it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to build it. All I have is all I need. Resources may come and go. People may come and go. But I've got a vision, and I've got the provision, and I've got the determination and the discipline to hit my aims and to punch through my targets. Can you do this thing without attention? Can you do this thing without public affirmation? Can you do this thing without people telling you that you are everything to them? Without people applauding you and saying you're great, you're awesome, oh, you're amazing. Can you do this thing alone? Can you be your own cheerleader for a moment? Can you be your own hype man for a moment? Can you tell you, I'm good enough, I got this, that all I have is all I need? I believe in friendships and partnerships and collaboration and counsel and advice. But there are some things in life you are going to have to do alone. There are some arenas you're going to have to show up in, and nobody is coming. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to show you a shortcut. You got to figure this out on your own. For most of us, nobody's going to feed us. You got to feed yourself. You want to lose the weight? You want to reach your target, your aim? You got to put the work in. You got to feed yourself the food that is required to power the body that you want. It's not about trying to be a lone ranger more than it is about taking responsibility and prioritizing yourself first. There are some things in life nobody's gonna show up. It's all on you. I need you to find a mirror right now and tell yourself, it's all on me. It's all on me. This one is all on me. When I go get this degree, ultimately, I gotta go get this degree. When I go get this certification, ultimately, I got to get this certification. I've got to finish strong. I've got to condition myself. I've got to go get the education. I've got to get out of bed. I've got to go to the gym. I gotta eat clean. Nobody's gonna feed me. I gotta feed myself. If you're listening to me right now in the gym, on your walk, on your run, you're lifting, you're building, you're creating, you're imagining something, I just need you to push, and I need you to believe that you don't need the spotter, that you don't need the training wheels, that it is your time, that it is your turn, and you no longer need help, you no longer need assistance in this area of your life. Push like you have never pushed before. Give it everything you have, because that spotter is not going to be there for you for the rest of your life. If you want to grow, 1 millimeter more. If you want to push, just push a little harder. Everybody wants to grow a little bit taller, so we got to push a little bit harder. Life is lived on levels, and I can't bring my spotter with me. The spotter cannot walk with you all of your life. At some point, you got to say, I got this. I got this. Push! Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I got this. I got this. If I have to do it alone, I will. Because to fulfill this vision, to fulfill my destiny, ultimately, I'm depending on the God that put the dream in my heart and myself. With tears in your eyes, with broken hands and a heavy heart, if nobody is there and you are in a room by yourself, start alone, but get started. Help is coming, but everything rises and falls on you. Oftentimes, the people that you wanted in your life will reject you, and that rejection is protection. It is a blessing because it's the same people that rejected you that will need you and that will rely on you. Come on, how many people have you tried to help and you were bleeding, battered, and broken? How many times have you called for help and the help was toxic? Come on, how many times have you asked for advice and the advice brought more adversity? Take responsibility for yourself. Take control of your life. I need you to understand your worth and stop playing the blame game, because 9 times out of 10, the people that hurt you, you brought them into your life. And so you got to reflect over the past. You have to acknowledge the present, and you have to cast vision for your future and take accountability and kill the self-condemnation. Stop tearing yourself down on the inside. Stop saying one thing, thinking another, and acting in a whole nother way. How you think is how you talk, and how you talk must be how you behave. Because your thoughts will determine your behavior, and your behavior determines your future. And so everything's got to line up. And so you need an alignment, an internal alignment. I can't align you. You got to make a decision to align yourself. You can hear a speech and make a decision, but every day you have to make that decision. That decision has to evolve into discipline. And discipline turns into mastery. And mastery builds momentum. You're not going to always get it right, but you got to keep going. When you start alone, you possess a power that few can handle. Enemies are a part of life. Enemies are inevitable. As sure as the sun is in the sky, you will always face opposition. If you're going to pursue your purpose, you're going to face persecution and opposition. There's always going to be somebody that tells you that you are not enough, that you don't measure up, that you're not smart enough, that you don't have the work ethic. And they position themselves as a barrier, a wall, a block, attempting to discourage you and stop you from what it is that you believe you've been assigned to do. It is inevitable. There's no need to retaliate. There's no need to speak curses over them. There's no need to say anything about them. Just do what you've been called to do. Stick to the plan. Pray for them and keep it moving. It's the go-getters. It's the anomalies. It's the people that think outside of the box. It's the people that see the glass half full. It's the people that are the pursuers that will always face persecution. You are a target for them. Do not give naysayers, onlookers, haters the satisfaction. If you are facing an enemy right now, if you are facing an insurmountable feat, if you are facing anything big, it is because you are at the precipice of the greatest blessing and the greatest promotion of your life through the passage of an enemy that's watching you, that's hoping that you crash and burn. Pray for your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Keep doing what God has called you to do. Overcome evil with good. Understand that this is an opportunity, that this is a moment for God to get some glory out of your life. It is oftentimes in this season of adversity when everybody says, no, it's impossible, it won't happen. Oftentimes it is then and then only that you are right at the precipice of the greatest season of your life. When you are surrounded by people trying to discourage you from accomplishing a thing, it is possible to silence the crowd, to silence the doubters, to silence the people that said you're finished, that said you're done. It is possible to silence them and prove them all wrong. Stay the course, no matter the cost. Let them talk about you. Let them drag your name through the mud. Let them lie. And you keep giving, and you keep believing, and you keep pushing. I don't care what they say. Eventually, your enemy will become your footstool. You know, they say new levels, new devils. Every time you're trying to walk through a door, even if God swings that door open for you, there will be testing. There will be adversity. There will be a reality that at the door of every opportunity is an enemy, an adversary. Just because the door's been open doesn't mean that everybody's going to want you to walk through it. Oftentimes, many of us never discover what we're made of until we cross paths with someone who tells us we're nothing, we can't do it, and fight you tooth and nail, trying to get you not to believe in this great vision, this dream. Haters and naysayers and enemies are always going to try to get in your head. You got to learn how to stay calm, cool, and collected right in the face of adversity. Right in the face of the tallest giants that you will ever stand toe-to-toe against. Oftentimes, it's the people that don't like you that expose your weaknesses. And once your weaknesses are exposed, you can go to the next level. If people can still get up under your skin, if people can still get you angry, if people can get you bitter, if people can get you jealous, if people can make you afraid, if people can punk you out of your position, they are exposing a weakness. They are exposing a vulnerability. Thank God somebody exposed it. We need a bit of adversity. In all of us, there is a nemesis, there is an adversary, there is a part of us that does not want us to succeed. I need you to face that enemy even within yourself and prove the part of you that does not believe wrong. It's you versus you. Everybody thinks it's you against the world. Oftentimes, man, it's you against you. You will always be one of the greatest adversaries in your life. The part of you that doesn't want your destiny, the part of you that doesn't want you to win, the part of you that doesn't want you to stay focused, that doesn't want you to lean in, that doesn't want you to believe that it is possible. There's something in you that doesn't want the discipline that is required. There's something in you that doesn't want you to be able to perform in the middle of chaos. There's a part of us that wants to sit and wallow. There's a part of us that wants to sit and complain and play the blame game and say that it's everybody's fault but ours that we are where we are. God, I believe, but help my unbelief. It is a beautiful thing to keep going, to persevere, to triumph right in the midst of adversity, but not just to prove them wrong, to prove yourself wrong. Success is the kryptonite that silences and cripples your enemies. The people that do not want to see you win. The people that want to see you suffer in silence. The people that want you depressed. The people that want you to quit. The people that want you to throw in the towel. Who don't believe in you. When the temperature rises, when the very foundation of your belief system is shaken, when nothing lines up with what you thought it should look like, you have a destiny to fulfill. When you can't hear it, when you can't see it, when you believe it, but it seems to be nowhere in sight, can you still hold on to the dream that it's possible?
that you will get through this, that there's something after this, that if you could keep your mind stayed on the target, if you could keep your composure, if you could not lose it, but hold on to it, that it's all gonna make sense after a while. I pray for myself. I pray for my enemies. I pray for everybody that want me to quit, everybody that want me to throw in the towel, everybody that believes the dream is too big to be fulfilled, that the destiny is impossible. But I'm possible. Keep saving, keep believing, keep maturing, keep investing, keep giving, keep pressing, keep walking. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, drag yourself across this season. But whatever you do not stop. I need you to breathe. Let this thing go. Release it from your system. And remember, in this very moment, that all you have is all you need.
How is it that we unlock our futures and let go of the trauma and let go of the betrayal and let go of the heartache and the challenges and the mountains and the giants and every disappointment and every failure? How is it that we are able to walk away from the past? And one of the first things we have to understand is that I got to acknowledge that I may be dealing with a measure of depression. I may be dealing with the spirit of heaviness. Some of us are not willing to acknowledge that we are depressed. And when I unpack depression, deep rest, that we are resting in a state of paralysis where we can't move, we're stuck, we're stagnant, and we're stationary. Today, I let the past go. Today, I'm moving on. Number one, I'm acknowledging that I've got some challenges in my present and they derive from my past. This is more than an invitation to the future. This is a command to leave your past behind. This is a charge to you in this moment to let it go. You gotta let it go. What did not work out, who was not present, who did not support you, who hurt you, who caused you to go into a state of depression and anxiety and defeat, who exposed you to things at an early age, who opened up doors to insecurity, the people who bullied you, the people who did not see you, the people who undervalued you, the people who were present for a moment but then left you for dead. I gotta let it go. If I want to be free in my present and in my future, I gotta let it go. And so I am aware of what happened to me. I am aware of the trauma. I am aware of the betrayal. I am aware that I am downtrodden and I am battered and broken and weary and tired and I'm stuck in a place of autopilot where I don't even know what tomorrow looks like. I'm not even free enough to dream about the future. I'm so broken from my past. If you want breakthrough, then this must be your moment of release. When you say, Marcus, how do I release? I need to acknowledge what happened to me. I need to acknowledge what they did, what they said, what they did not do, how they lied, how they punctured, how they fractured, how they stepped and stomped on the hope that was in me, how they let me down, how now I've got diminished expectations, but now I'm going to release it. I want this thing off my back and out of my system, purged from my heart. I don't want to think about it anymore. I don't want to meditate on it anymore. I want the light and the brilliance and the fire of my future. I want the hope of a new beginning. I'm letting this thing go. If you want to be released, then release it now. And the only way you're going to release is if you forgive them for the things that were done to you, not done for you, said about you. Forgive yourself from all the mistakes you have made. And when I come on, this is your time to release. This is your time to release, to let it go. What happened to you What was said about you, what they did, what you did, has taken up too much real estate in your mind, rent free. And so what happens is when we meditate on the past, when we meditate on what is behind us, it takes up real estate in our present. And if we remain off kilter and fractured and beaten and broken in the present, then we have no future. And so one of the next things you're going to have to do is that once you're aware of this state, that you are stuck and stationary and that you live a stagnant type of lifestyle, I'm understanding the trauma effects on my brain and how it changed my behavior. It changed my perspective. I understand what happened to me and I cannot change it, but I can change how I feel about it. Your greatest move, your best response is to let it go. It is to set your ego and your pride aside for the sake of your future. Just forgive them. Let it go. Release from your spirit. It's time to let it go and move on. The present is a gift and the future is waiting. The question is, will you let go of your past? Be grateful for the clothes on your back and the roof on your head. Even if you're in a homeless shelter, even if you're in a prison, even if you're in the hospital right now, even if you're in transition, sleeping on somebody's couch, be grateful. Be grateful that you are living. Be grateful that you are breathing. Seize the opportunity. The time is now. There are far, far better things ahead than anything we have left behind. In order for us to have a new beginning, there must be an ending. And we've got to be okay with entrances and exits, beginnings and endings. Many of you, most of you, desire, long for a new beginning. To begin again, before you were hurt, to feel again, to cry tears of joy. The you before you were exposed at an early age, the you before you had to grow up too soon, the you before the loss, the you before the death of a loved one, the you before you were fired, the you before you were hurt, the you before they left you, the you before they abandoned you. Who were you before you were hurt? What if you could go back to the very moment you were hurt, you were let down, they left you, you lost them, and you could be that person again, and you can grow from that place. This is where we should desire to be. This is the gift and the power of the present and the fire of the future. Every moment wasted looking back keeps us from moving forward. Stop wasting your precious present moments. You're gonna have to normalize not holding a grudge. You're gonna have to normalize not hating people that hurt you. You're going to have to normalize forgiveness. Evaluate your circle of influence. Be grateful for the people you have now. Sometimes the hardest part isn't that we can't let go of the past. It's the fact that we don't know how to begin again. And this is why we need forgiveness. And this is why we need healing. And this is why we need to release. And this is why we have to let it go. If you're listening to me and you're tired of living and you're ready to pull the trigger, and you're ready to let it go, I just need you to know that hopelessness and depression is not stronger than the possibility of beginning again. The sufferings from your past and even the present moment is not worthy to be compared with the glory, come on, that shall be revealed in all of us. That revelation is my anchor to the ground and my hope for a future. And so this is why I can press toward the mark. I can press toward the future. I can press for it. I can fight for it. I can build again. I can create again. I can believe again. I can forgive one more time. I can let it go. I can evolve. I can grow. This is my opportunity for metamorphosis and evolution. This is my opportunity for growth, for expansion. The more I release, the more I can become. And the more I become, the more I can attract. What is it that has not been attracted to you? When I understand who I am and where I am, I position myself for attraction. This ain't about the law of attraction. This is about dealing with me first and the dream that God has given me and the purpose, and everything else will be added. You are alive for a reason. I can choose to forgive. I can choose to let go. I can choose to believe. I can choose to dream. I choose to be free. Be not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. So forgive, release, and in some cases restore with a new title and a new assignment to punch through a bigger target. And so don't be so quick to amputate everybody out of your life that hurt you in your past. Because if an item can be repurposed, then so can a person. Whatever you can't let go of, whatever you can't get over, you have made it an idol. And it simply means that you love it or them more than you love yourself. The question I want to ask you is, how bad do you want your future? The truth is, some of us prefer familiar sufferings because we are afraid of the unknown. And for many of you listening to me, joy and peace and abundance and the fullness of life is so unknown. It is so uncharted that you are afraid to release. You are afraid to let go. But today is the day you decide, you come to the resolve. I need you to concentrate your mind on the power of the present and the brilliance of the future. Let me tell you something. Amputation without forgiveness is like a virus. Marcus, what are you saying? This means that if you try to go away, if you try to move from it, if you try to get a new area code and a new zip code and a new career, that's just busyness. That's artificial significance. You gotta forgive this person. Because going away and changing your zip code and changing your area code and trying to get a new career and marrying somebody else is not going to take the pain away, because you are running from you. You got to look in the mirror and you got to decide, I forgive myself for the mistakes I made. I forgive the people for what they did. Everybody wants new, but don't want to become new. It's time to become new. It's your time. It's your turn to live a life of abundance in the fullness of joy and peace and fire and passion and resilience. This is your time. Make this your moment to no longer be a prisoner of the past. Oh, the past is not your prison. The past is your platform to build what it is that you were placed in this world to build. Release your brilliance. Release the idea. Step out. Launch it, build it, create it, imagine it. The time is now.